Good morning, traders, and welcome to
How can
the
you see?
Bookmap live trading webinar today with stocks trader JTrader. We do this every Wednesday. He comes in a little bit later, around every Wednesday. He comes in a little bit later. I put 10:20 here, but he usually comes in around 10:10, 10:15 or so. It gives us just a chance to kind of catch up with what happened yesterday, review, answer questions. But most of the period we go over the live analysis and what's happening right now in the S&P futures product, and then we'll dive into the stocks with JTrader once he arrives. You guys know who he is. You can contact him here. I'll put this into the chat over time so that you can reach out to him if you have any questions. You got his email and his website, his Twitter, his YouTube, all of that good stuff. Yeah, he offers mentorship and educational services. So let's go through the disclosures. We need to go through this. It's important since it is live trading. So please listen here. All Bookmap Limited materials, information, and presentations are for educational purposes only and should not be considered specific investment advice nor recommendations. Live trading is in simulation, demo, paper trading mode, and strictly for educational purposes. Live trading executed in simulation cannot accurately represent realistic trading performance. Risk disclosure: trading futures, equities, and digital currencies involves substantial risk of loss and is not suitable for all investors. An investor could potentially lose all or more than the initial investment. Risk capital is money that can be lost without jeopardizing one's financial security nor lifestyle. Only risk capital should be used for trading, and only those with sufficient risk capital should consider trading. Past performance is not necessarily indicative of future results. All right, let's jump in here. Let's take a look. Any questions from yesterday with the S&P E-mini? We saw some interesting activity there. Let's go over the bigger picture here. We can take a look. Here's the daily on the left-hand chart. Here's yesterday's action, the move to the upside. And then we have the hourly here in the middle, and then we also have the 15-minute on the right-hand side. 15-minute is showing us the most, in my opinion, here. Really pretty interesting action. During the webinar, we were bullish the whole time. Let's see, what time is this here? So basically, the webinar kind of ended right around here. We saw this reversal starting to take place. We captured it, and we were looking for the downside move. However, it was kind of in the bigger picture of this move here to the upside, as you guys can see. So and we were still bullish until we see something different, right? Well, that didn't happen until later in the afternoon, and especially after the close, and we had to move all the way back down, fill the gap down here from. This was on the 18th here, and then look at the bounce today, okay, and filling another gap to the upside here. All right, so that move is basically finished. This is pretty strong buying though. So let's dig into the details here and see what's going on in Bookmap. We can even see it on the daily chart here. Big wick here. Okay, so there's a lot of buying pressure in here. We want to understand this. We want to understand the overall bigger picture, like what's going on in the order flow in the bigger picture here. We can look at the hourly in here as well. I mean, it's choppy with these gaps, etc. But there's still, we know there's buying pressure in here. That's the key here. That's what we want to cover and understand, that there is buying pressure in here. Okay, so now the question is, are we going to get back up? See this little distribution pattern up here on the 15-minute chart? Are we going to get back up into this area here and maybe even above it? Yesterday, well, we didn't know. We saw this hourly candle, or in this 15-minute, these 15-minute candles, these moves to the upside. We were looking for a move back up to somewhere around here, above 3,800, back up into some of these wicks up in this area here. Okay, so anyway, just some ideas that we were looking for in the order flow. We know what happened now, and now we're going to go through it again and look for the potential move back up into these areas here and see if we get some more buying strength and maybe even above it here. right? So anyway, we got to go through all the different scenarios in here because we've already kind of filled the gap here. Not a full fill, but pretty good, pretty close, and we're seeing some selling. Okay, so are we just going to chop around in here for a while? Let's in fact look at just today's action. Okay, that's not really telling us too much. Yeah, so we're going to just chop around in here for a while. Or are we going to see more buying come in, or are we going to see some selling all of a sudden come in? Okay, that's what we're going to read in Bookmap in the order flow. We have our bigger picture outlook now. And we went through some scenarios here of what may unfold here. Now it's going to be up to the order flow to give us the direction here. All right, so that's exactly what we do in here in these webinars. We look for a much more objective outlook here based on the order flow. We can look at candlesticks, we can look at volume profiles, we can look at trend lines, etc. Whatever it is, we're going to be looking at the order flow around these areas here to give us insight to where price might move next. So we can see here at the 9:30 cash open and even before, a lot of buying, very powerful buying. We get a pullback here and we get continuation. Okay, we come up and we've traded into and through the 37.50 here. So look at the liquidity here on the offer. It traded. We had more buying pressure. We don't see actually a lot of buying up here. We get a pullback. Look where the pullback came to, where it broke out from in this range. Okay, in the structure. This is the structure. This is the new structure. All right, and we're in that structure right now. And again, we're seeing more buying coming in. So we're looking for 37.50. Maybe we can get back up above it, and then that would be the high up here at 62.5, etc. All right, so let's zoom in here and let's look for that buying. All right, so as we covered yesterday, the order book looks great here. Look at the bid underneath here. We're getting our buyers in here. Okay, so we're just looking for that continuation now. Now, here come the sellers. All right, now, did they transact down here? Okay, yeah, absolutely. Okay, here at 55, they transacted. All right, so let's see if we what happens around this event is what we want to know right here. Okay, around this 55. Okay, we're back up here and on very small volume here, not a whole lot of buying, and we're back up here. Okay, now look at the order book here. We're looking for insight in here. See how this will keep you away from getting involved in here because there was not support here. Now there is. Now they're back. The same guy looks like it, or potentially is back in here at 55. What's the action? Buyers. Now we're looking for the move up into 60. Okay, so let's see if we can get it here.
Good morning, Bruce.
Good morning, Joseph. How are you?
Good. Thank you. Good morning, traders. Good morning, Bookmap users.
Hold on a minute, Joseph, and let me find your screen so I can rebroadcast it and we can get going here in stocks.
All right. So let me know when you're ready.
Yep, go ahead.
Okay. Tell me if you can see my Bookmap monitor, please.
Yes.
All right. So welcome, everybody. Wednesday, 22nd. We had a big bounce over here this morning on ES, Tesla, Meta. I'm going to put over here, first of all, our Tesla. So this is our Tesla this morning. Long setup here and long setup here. I'm actually into short setups, which one is LLL. It's a small cap. It's a pump into daily resistance. So I took 2 cuts this morning because I short over here 215. We halted, all right? We opened over here. I shorted 215. Came down. I was in profit pretty good, around 15, 16 cents. This is a $2 stock. Came up and I stopped over here exactly 220. So this zone over here, 220, because you can see the high volume coming. And then I anticipated my short, a little bit of FOMO because I was short bias over here, but I didn't want to go add. So I short around 233. I stopped at 240. And then when I saw 240, this pattern over here, you can see this first stuff and then a second stuff. I loaded the both, and now I'm simply holding from with 3 accounts, 240, 238, and 236 average. Right now, the price is around 206, 207. I also re-added over here, and if we're going to have a VWAP stuff, I'm going to re-add it more. Extension play. Okay, extension play, low volume for now. This is the 1-minute chart. Simply waiting over here, this trend break. You can see also the here traders, the low volume. This could be another good fail. So watching these traders right now. All right, I'm holding short. We had a gap and crap this morning, WKSP. The bookmap read was simply terrific on this. I took the tops. So first, I shorted this 236. Why? Because we were bouncing on a fluff news, more pump and dump strategy. It came up over here, 235, also this breakout. And then we basically had an absorption over here. As you can see, exactly this level. And then right away they dumped it. But somebody over here holding 224, right? For another ride over here to the golden zone, 245. I mean, this was perfect over here. I didn't short on both accounts. I short only one account, but my average over here went down because I short over here 237, sorry. And then over here, I'm simply holding right now, low volume, and this could be a very good fader right now. So let's see also, I'm gonna put Tesla. By the way, LLL is playing good, perfect. So the trend break over here, you see some very good setup this morning. I love to see this micro stuffs that we have. Over here.
Yeah.
That's a micro stuff. You can see they pull it above the VWAP. This is what I said 2 minutes ago. Remember, I'm looking for a stuff above VWAP for a short, right? Now my target on this one today will be 160. Okay, 160. Low volume, so I'm not really anymore considering over here to cover until I will have this low volume. Some support 190, but I believe once we fail this, I don't see big support over here in heat map. This is a perfect, I would say, backside over here. The move. Look, all those sellers. This is superb. So look over here how it's melting down. I want to put also times in sales. Nice juicy sellers right now, traders. Nice juicy sellers. You can see 7,000, 9,000. Now it's done. It's done. Okay, it's done. It's done. No more sellers. No more buyers over here. It's done. So if you don't have a level 2, if you don't have the times in sales, but you can only spot Bookmap over here, right? So let's look this together. This is our exercise today. Let's look at the front side of the move. Now, 245 is a daily resistance. Take it for granted, it's a daily resistance. That is. And then we have another resistance over here, which was 215, a daily resistance. So those are the two levels that I shorted into. The first one I shorted over here after the halt, and I got, sorry, over here after the halt, and I got stopped over here. And then the second one I shorted exactly on this fill. So I want to zoom in and show you over here that if you even take a normal trendline break, you will see traders the front side from the back side, okay? So over here we have the back side. And how is the back side? So we have sellers, so all magentas, right? And then we have a trend break. And also we have a rejection, okay, from the daily. And over here we have the front side. So you can see we still have a lot of buyers and it still didn't top. And this is what I'm looking right now, okay? This is my very simple chart. I'm gonna post over here in the advanced. So this over here is LLL, extension play. Extension play that you can load simply as you want. There was a ton of liquidity at 240. I mean, a trade like this can be really good for a good 5 figures and a very low risk. Now, the second one, before looking at Tesla, which Tesla gave us the best setup, I believe, in the last 5 days. The best setup, really. So look, this parabolic move over here. Actually, it's not a parabolic. Actually, it's a spike, right? So we have WKSP. So exhaustion moves over here, right? We have these peaks over here into the 250. How to know that it's a daily level? So I'm going over here, WKSP. We're going to look at our daily chart. And over here, I'm starting to put my levels. And over here, I have my 250. See that resistance? That is the level that I look to short. Then next, I had another resistance over here. I had another one over here. I had another one over here. I had another one over here. But this was I would say, the first resistance on my plan. I moved down to an hourly. So we can see that the previous move had over here some consolidation around 250, then more around over here 320, and then more over here around 340, 350. Getting to the chart. So we can see the volume on this stock was never high volume. It continued here to rip every single time to this 250, in this case 245. You can see over here, traders, that this was the peak, right? And you can see that we start shifting at this point from buyers to sellers over here. This is a beautiful stuff. Exactly into this area. And let's zoom out. And that is the shift between supply, demand and supply, all right? So in this case, I was trading a gap day one. So day one gap. Over here, we had WKSP. Now, what I'm looking over here, Price is still holding the 220. So we have a dip level, but the volume is extremely low. So I will continue to hold this, Abir.
Yeah.
I will continue to hold this, traders. Maybe I can add a little bit more if we could have another extension around 240 to 50. This is a tip that I gave you. Often when we have these day one that don't fade right away in the first hour, hour and a half, these small caps tend to have ideally a push to the pre-market high, having a fake clear out the pre-market high, and then an unwind. And this happened on JAN. This happened on other stocks like, if I remember correctly, we had, I believe, EXO. But a lot of these moves are to the pre-market high. So that is the level that I'm watching to short. Why I'm not long over here? Well, there's no volume. We're not really trading a runner. So for me, there's only like recycling over here for a short side. The black is below, you see?
Yeah.
Right there.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm looking over here for a re-add.
Yeah.
It's going to be good. Want to look for 240 to 45. I need to look at this, traders, as well, because I'm trading actually this. And then we're going to look into Tesla, into Meta. I mean, Tesla today was a shame not to trade it. Bear over here killed it. And we're going to analyze how to take these moves, all right? How to take these moves. I always have double plan when I'm trading big caps at the gate. So one for short, one for long, because basically we have a strategy for both sides. And I always say you don't have to be over biased, right? Being over biased, you miss some chance, or you get stubborn, and then you simply take huge losses. But over here, I just want to point out, and then we go to study this. This is my A+ setup for the day. And that is the runner that we had over here on on Tesla all day long. This is still a long trade. Yes. So I'm looking over here, WKSP. Resistance over here. I'm looking to add something around 234 to 35. I'm not going to stop over here because I already took a book profit from the first dip over here on first account on WKSP. Are still below, so remember the red. And over here we have the 1, 2nd, and 3rd. Okay, the gray over here is the pre-market high. So this is how to look for pump and dump on news. We have a stock with let's put also over here some stats. WKSP, we have a stock with 12 million float, so they're still didn't flow rotated, which is good. They have some cash because the burn per month is around 700K and they have 29 million working capital. This one I'll look a little bit better. WKSP, no previous gaps history. So launched the storefronts on Amazon, eBay, and Walmart Marketplace. Basically, it's not, one of those game-changing news. They have a cash 25 million, all right, cash 25 million, but they have a revenue of around 47K and a net income minus 2.82 million. So remember, we're not trading a healthy company over here. WKSP. So we can put over here this morning, pump and dump, sell the new scenario, strategy plus bookmap, low volume equals short. Remember, I'm only looking to short pops, okay? Third over here, very low volume. Okay, in the meantime that we're waiting WKSP, I'm going to look over Tesla. So Tesla paying today on this bounce. So if you look at the main overall trend, the trend is still down, right? So don't get confused over here. The scenario is still for the downside. Didn't still for the downside, but this morning, what happened over here at the gate, we held this dip. ES was pushing. So right now, only looking for a long scenario. Getting to the 5-minute chart. Trendline break this morning. And over here, reversal of the pattern. All right. So over here, two good long setups, and we're going to analyze with Bookmap the timing of entry. All right, so the first dip happened over here around 9:30. Actually, it was around 9:32, 9:33. Not entering out this far. Okay. So I like over here to see a dip. We hold 9:30. We start pushing. So decent amount of buyers, but at the same time of sellers. And then this is the main A plus setup for me. When we have the first pullback to 706 and then start pushing strong. The second dip over here happens at 9:40. So here liquidity 715. All right, so we dip over here and then we start curling, right? So this big curl, you can see buyers coming in now. Big buyers coming in, breaking that level 715 with resistance. Dip also over here on this support, breaking down. So a lot of sellers trap over here because this right now is a trap, right? So if we break a level to the downside, and this was the previous resistance, so we break that level, comes down, and then right away shakes out the longs, right? Makes some shorts getting filled, comes to the upside, boom, all shorts are trapped, and now shorts, how they can get over here out, just like stopping out, liquidating the position. And from that moment, this is going to be only an uptrend all day long. All day long. You can see removal of the heat map. That is why I always say don't short only because you see a heat map, right? Between yesterday and today, you would have been getting killed. Don't short because you have a heat map. You must have a heat map, a daily supply area, a level of, I would say, many point of intersection, and then you can short it. Okay, guys. So right now, Tesla is over here. If you see this trend line, just passing into this area. All right. Let's use also. Meanwhile, we have over here L that is fading more, still sellers in. This is perfect right now. We can get easily this 160, 150. More sellers in. You see the tape is all red. That still didn't die, but this is still below. So let's see.
Yeah.
Let's wait the red. Patience over here on this one. Let's also look WKSP, which is still uptrending, slowly uptrending. I'm going to also go over here the tape. So I'm going to put times in sales. I'm going to change this. So some buyers over here around 235. Let's see this level. The liquidity is very, very low. So I need to see the last push. Ideally, these last pushes happen at this area. But I'm comfortable over here holding short because my shorts are this over here small, and another account I got also this at 237. So for now I'm comfortable holding short, and I'm risking an area up here, and I'm looking for a target on here. Let's see if I'm gonna get far from these. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
They're propping over here the bid. You can see they're still pushing over here the bid, 236.
And 35.
Another stock that I traded this morning is Rev. And over here, I shorted all these pops over here and then cover into dips. I didn't trade anymore after 10 o'clock. Over here, we had a good long setup, dip into the J lines, reason to add over here. So this was another perfect setup to long on Rev from the playbook that I trade. This is beautiful, you see?
Mm-hmm.
Or over here, 231. Spoofing over here, 231. So somebody is trying to hold the 231 level. And let's watch something more interesting right now. If I will have ads, I will explain it. So the first thing I need to go check on my daily. I always put the levels on the brokers that I'm using to trade. The first level, the most important levels are the weekly. So I'm going to put these on the weekly. Then let's suppose that you've already done this. I'm going to shift to the daily, and I'm going to look for the levels, the nearest levels at the actual price, to the actual price. One over here, 766, and then another one over here at around 792. I can also look back to see the multiple point of intersection that we have, and I can look for this level over here. You can see that we touched this already 1, 2, 3, 4 times and more. Shifting also down to the hourly chart. What it's doing right now, the price is going into this level of resistance over here, 750. We have resistance from previous weeks. Let's check also if we have some other point of intersection. Yeah, this, for example, is a good one. We had a top, dips, top over here. So this is a good point where possibly the trend can stop or reject. Over here, we have a dip. We have dips over here. We have top. So that's 750, 758, 766. And eventually also over here, 783 and 792. All these are the levels that you must look at when you're trading, in this case, Tesla. Then I can go down to 5 minutes or 1 minute. Trend is still up, strong, volume is still there. So both yesterday and today, we had dips into the J line and then simply popping. I mean, strategy is paying very good over here. And each time I'm looking at my strategy, I'm looking over here at Bookmap. This supports my thesis, and it does. It does, because when I have over here these dips, and this is where I want to long. Okay. Besides, we had some B entries over here, some B setup entries up here into 720. I'm looking if those dips are bought up. All right, like over here, I start looking over here that we shift from all this magenta, all these sellers into buyers over here, and then we start like pushing back up. So beautiful tape. The same thing happened yesterday at the gate when we held the dip and then started to push all the way up. Right now, in order for me to start to get interested in trading this, I will need traders that pull back, okay, a decent amount of pullback over here, because right now we are too strong, it's too extended. So if I have a pullback into ideally this area, then I can consider again taking some position.
Really powerful move there in Tesla.
Yeah, same thing yesterday, buddy.
This is
Same thing,
the one to trade. Everyone's
yeah.
interested.
And I was looking at also, look over here, Bruce. Let me put the hourly chart. I was looking over here also at second this move that we had yesterday. So this move started over here. You can see this dip. It really started so strong, and then over here, gap down, so wash. You can see that we start reclaiming over here the level of 690, and this morning the level of 700. That was the most important level, and then we pushed really on the trendline break. We pushed with so much volume over here. This is a pretty good volume. The dip was held over here, another breakout. So super strong, not really looking at all to look for a short. Yesterday we had a topping over here where the price, I was looking over here at this point, I was having Bookmap up. I was looking at the price. There was a huge bid all afternoon for 1 hour, 1 hour and a half over here. Once he went, after this rejection, boom, it flushed. Like somebody big over here took profit yesterday and really flushed all the way down, all the way down. And then, you know, overnight we had over here the gap down. I like to trade Tesla because it gives so much range. The setup that we had were here and here and here yesterday. And this morning we had over here. Right now it seemed like a stuff into that trend line, but I'm waiting. As I said, I'm not looking to trade any short. Most I will be looking for long dips, long in dips.
Yeah, I love the way that you have your core large caps like this, and your expertise in them, and then you're looking at when those aren't moving, or S&P E-mini is not moving, then you're looking at these small caps and looking for your setups.
Exactly, exactly. For example, when the market is really like volatile, liquid, we have days like this. I look generally at Tesla, Nvidia, Amazon, Meta, and even Netflix. These are the products that I look together with yes. And when these are simply choppy sideways, then I start looking more even at small caps. Today, I can tell you that my bear traded like Tesla, and while I was trading small caps because it was very volatile all over. But I mean, these are the perfect move. One trade like this a week, that's all you need. So I see a lot of traders taking maybe 4, 5, 10 trades in a day. And I really don't emphasize that kind of trading. I prefer, you know, more conservative, choosing better the stocks to trade or the options to trade, whatever you're trading, and pinpointing better maybe the entry, so to have these bigger returns, right? So for me, Tesla or Meta, which yesterday gave a good short, right? So try to have both plans for long and short. Try to know already in advance what could happen. And this becomes only by observing the market, tracking it, journaling it, and then studying it. And then simply trade your plan once this happens. It might not happen for one day or maybe even 1 week, but eventually it will. And if you have track and journal correctly, then your setup will be in play, giving you a good risk-reward ratio.
Yeah, yeah, that's very, very worthy trading there, Joseph.
And this morning, for example, Bruce, I saw some charts around, and I didn't understand why in a move like this, all right, even if, of course, we had resistances from the previous day, we had resistance from the previous weeks. We had a lot of, I saw a lot of sellers trying to short this. And I really don't understand this way of trading because for me, it really exposed you to many big losses. I mean, this is not the usual, you know, pump and dump that you short 10 million market cap and you short into the resistance after you see some rejection. I mean, this is really a big stock, maybe the most traded in the last year, and huge amount of volume. And when it runs, it runs. So for me, trying to find the top tick on Tesla for getting the short is not really the best strategy. I can show you, for example, over here yesterday when we had the short setup. I mean, start looking for a breakdown of a clear support, and like you see over here, a distribution pattern. This that I'm putting right now had really at 722 and something. We had a really big support on Bookmap, much bigger than this. All for 1 hour and a half was holding. And I saw him even over here. Okay, so it was all a big support all day. At a certain point, they cracked it, and then you can see they rejected. And that is your timing to start looking for a fader, to start looking for a short. Look over here, this is panic selling with volume increasing, right? And a lot of these are even sellers that they bought in during the morning over here. They want to probably take profit, they want to get out. And then eventually, if you hold it, loses like 20, 25 points for the next day. Okay, so I'm now nice support over here. I'm looking for this support over here, the 9 MA at around 730, 731. Meanwhile, Rev over here is dumping. LL still 179. This is still 231. No volatility over here. So let's look at Tesla. We'll be interested to see if we're going to hold this support around 730, 731. I want to put up over here traders 2-second REV. And you can see the fail, right? That's a fail. All right, Tesla wash over here, traders as well. Tesla wash. This is a nice traders, nice sweep over here. So you can see right away, wash. So they broke the support, a big seller jump in from 732.50, 733 actually, down to the 728.50. So $3 wash. I like this setup over here. So holding the 90 MA, still not long on this one. We need to see curl. We need to see the curl over here above this 90 MA now, or at the J-lines dip. So news over here from McLovin, Tesla to suspend most production at Shanghai plant in the first 2 weeks of July to upgrade facility. Thank you, McLovin, for the news. So right away, news impact, boom, down 3 points, and now they're starting again to buy it over here. Piccolo.
Yeah.
Ok. Vedi anche questo piccolo.
Piccolino.
Interesting over here to look at WKSP.
Joseph, I'm sorry to interrupt you on that. Where do you see that note from McLovin?
He sent me over here on my
okay. On your in your room. Okay.
So Tesla over here, traders, right now, simply waiting. As I said before, 730, 729. Looking at more consolidation, I reclaim a 90 million, curl back up. So this is the 729 support. 729 support. Let's see if we can consolidate over here and then long, or if we reclaim over here the 90 million, then consolidate and push. Also gonna put the rev that I traded this morning. So the same wash happened on Tesla, happened over here on rev. And this traders is not an easy stock to trade. It's an overextended play, still not on the backside. Today we almost reached 10. This morning we were looking for or a fake breakout in short or a fake breakdown in long. And I started looking at this 760 and this 840 because each time we were dipping into this area and into this area popping, right? So I wrote exactly like this. This was my plan that I was looking for. If we have a fake breakout, I'm looking for a short, and I shorted from here down to here. If we're having a fake breakdown on a reclaim, I'm looking to long for a push. Then over here we had a big extension to the upside. You can see, right? Big extension, almost to this 10. This morning, one of our forecasts was to look for a possible 10 extension. Came over here, this micro support 880. I'm going to show you. 880, right away, wash over here. So it fills the J line, wash over here down to 8. This moves very quick, a lot of volume. This morning before the open, had 24 times float rotation in the last few days. 24 times flow rotation, okay? 24 times. So that's a huge amount of flow rotation.
This
Right.
is just insane, Joseph. I mean, just a small note here. I don't want to take up too much of your time, but like,
No, you can really.
are they even? Do they even have the shares? Is kind of what I'm wondering. Uh,
It's not a big float because we have over here around 8 million float. And yesterday had the flow rotation 24 times. And this morning has the flow rotation of 12 times. So now getting even higher over here. We're talking about 8 million float. 8
yeah.
million float. All right. So that is crazy. Crazy. This is not an easy trade. This is not an easy stock to trade because look, we're holding basically every single dip over here from this day to this day to this day, this every single dip. So right now, just looking at this stock, where I will be considering this if I'm short as a target or if I'm looking to buy at that magenta. All right. So I'm looking for those levels over there to consider, I would say, a setup to trade. So big sellers over here. We can see the first part over here. They try to hold over here. They held it. They push into this almost $10. And then over here, the big liquidity comes and they simply dump it. That's an amazing manipulation over here. First buyers, then sellers. So selling more. We broke over here another support. So look, these sellers over here, this is incredible right now. All these nice dumps, main support over here. So this is when we started like to dump. Looking over here, traders, we got to this 5 support over here. This, sorry, $8 support, $7.95 support, and then it bounced back up. And Bruce, are you here, Bruce?
Yes.
Okay, just look with me the chart 1 second. We have, if you look over here, 3 main zones. Now, the first part till around 10 and 10, where we basically dip into the support. This was the main support, and then we push to this 930. And over here you see that we have some pretty big liquidity above. So somebody over here wants to sell, or maybe wants to short sell and dump it. Every single time over here, I didn't put a sweep indicator, but this exactly would be a perfect scenario to put it. So let me upload it over here. I'm gonna configure my add-on over here. Because I believe over here he will have fun. Okay, yes, as a matter of fact. So we have over here, you can see these washes traders, all right? So just on this breakdown right away, instantly, boom. And then what they do, they hold over here the VWAP and then they start pushing back up. Exhaustion on this move, almost till 10. And then over here again, sweep, sweep indicator over here, wash, wash, sweep, wash. What I like of all of this, traders, is distinguishing the 3 zones. And the first one is this one, where we have buyers in control over here. And then over here again, dip, buyers in control. And then over here we have sellers in control. When this first main seller and then these 2 jump in, and then we start having these washes. So look how difficult it is to trade this. The first part you will need to long, and then fail, pull back, and then long again, and then fail, pull back. And then you cannot long. This over here is a short and washes. So 3 different zones, and it's like a mini cycle over here of what we see, you know, the markup accumulation, markup, markdown, distribution, another markdown. Really, really nice over here. I like these type of patterns. A little bit more, I would say, advanced, but pretty, I would say, explanatory of what a manipulated stock does. Let's go back to Tesla. So we didn't have the perfect dip into the J lines. Waiting. Okay, let's see. Possible wash now coming on WKSP traders. I need to look at this because I'm in. All right, so holding my position, WKSP. Sellers over here, sweep indicator as well. Beautiful, right? We need to see the breakdown. My target right now is around $2. So trying to hold, trying to have the little bit of, sorry, the little bit of patience over here as I'm having patience on LLL. This morning, 1, 2, 3 was good, right? Okay. It's very slow. Even the volume over here on WKSP is not high. 8 million volume. All the major resistances are above. So we have the 250, the 350. We have the $7-8 level. So all the main resistances are above over here. I'm just waiting and just holding over here my short. Don't want to see over here reclaim. Let's see if other stocks moving. Okay, we have PEV over here. Just this one crazy parabolic. So we have PEV. Let's look at this this stock over here, traders. The previous resistance was around 650. Yeah, 650 resistance over here on PEV. See this? So let's see why this is moving. Could be interesting. Parabolic move. PEV. We have a lack of information. This seems recent IPO. No news as well. So it seems more like a pump and dump. Looking over here, they halted it a couple of times. Came into this 640. Now we have resistance over here, 627. This is the halt level. I'm only watching over here for a fake out of 650. Okay, they're trying to push it back up again. We see they're making the support over here 580, which was the previous halt level. It's still propping over here 610. I'd like to see that 640, 650 clear out. This is very far from 9, not yet. See over here is not far. This is too picky.
Yeah.
So main support 580, main resist 620. This is an extension play. You can see we have over here the buyers 580 and then sellers between 615 and 620. Each time it gets over here, we get like stuffed. So just patience over here. We have the consolidation area. Again, dip to the 580. They're trying to push it. Yes, but it's not far.
Right.
You can see they're still propping over here. A 6 million volume, small float. Lost support again at 6. You can see traders each time they push over here 612, they get absorbed. Not really any more buyers above the 615, right? And then over here they simply dump into this support. Until one of the two areas won't be exhausted, this will continue to do like this. We have a small float over here, no dilution I can see. Okay, they're gonna push it. Breakout, halt it again. Let's see. $665, $668. I shorted and I covered. Now this is my trade of the day. I'm gonna share my trade. I shorted 650 PEV and I hold over here, share my execution. Let me see over here. Thanks, my bear, for the tip. Putting PEV over here. So shorting this traders. And I took the almost a top tick over here. Pretty proud of this. We'll post in Bookmap room and a small cap room. So I'm going to explain it, right? So I'm going to explain why I did this. And I'm going to put over here. I just cover here 25%. And why I did short over here. So I was waiting for the halt, okay? I was waiting for the halt and it didn't halt. So often, you see the big push, and I was looking really, it's halting, it's halting, it's halting. No, it's not halting. And then I started to see when they were losing 660. And then as soon as I saw 660 lost, and you can see over here I have my level, right? This is the previous daily resistance 650. Okay, you see all things together. So when I saw the 650 fading, what I did, I triggered over here, and then boom, all the way down. Just cover a little bit on this dip. And now we're going to see what? I'm going to look for 5, and then I'm going to look for 4. So that is the trade over here. Not really, the same usual setup that I like to trade. For me, it's much better to look for this easy J-line curl over here down to the 430 and taking the long. But I would say good for the return. Okay, good for the return.
Well, I mean, it does. This is one of your strategies that you
Yes, but I want to show something easier to trade, like Tesla and or some other big cap that is moving slower, or even some small cap like LL or like WKSP that we're still short. I want to see the crack of 220. Over here, Tesla right now is breaking, so don't buy. I'm not really buying over here. Don't have over here, traders, that main support that I wanted to see a 728. So just waiting. Now I'm gonna hold. Be patient on Tesla. Mambir was long this morning from this dip and sold everything into the 730. I don't see any setup right now that I want to trade. I'm just waiting the market over here to settle a bit down. For me to long this Tesla over here, we would need to really consolidate on 730, and I don't have this trade right now. So just waiting over here, right? 730. I can even tell you what I'm looking for the next 60, 70 minutes. This. If I have this, that's my long. Make sense? So that is what I'm looking for, the long on Tesla. Okay. All right. So let's continue to watch over here. LLL. I didn't trade this good today. They said I had a good stop. The first one over here, very small. The second trade was just like silly anticipation. But then I took the stop over here, 238. And I'm holding over here for the 160. I already covered a partial. And I mean, look this bookmap over here. I mean, Bruce, this stuff should be illegal to show this stuff, right? Should be illegal. Look over here, what a tape. In the meantime, open over here our friend Pev. And this is really beautiful dumping over here. Sellers in control on this LLL. So amazing, 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 amazing. So now the point is that when you are in a short and you have a high average, you right away want to cover everything. When you cover around 25, 30%, this is a pump and dump after an exhaustion bar. Put a stop break even and hold it. Put your stop loss, and so you can even go away, which would be better. So you don't have any kind of, I would say, temptation to cover everything over here. Just don't. It's just like You don't have to cover right now.
Joseph, we have a question about what would you have done if PEV did halt?
That hold what? The 660? I would simply cut it over here at the higher high.
Well, you waited until it started moving because it never halted.
I waited to see the red prints
Yeah.
on, actually, sorry, the magenta prints over here on this pop, and I start seeing sellers over here. I was looking just the 560. I saw the 560 going away, trigger 560, stop at 660. Stop was at 675, 680. Mentally, I don't have time to put a stop. Now my trade is about like 20R or 16R, something like that. So I'm just gonna hold it, simply holding over here. My target, Bruce, is gonna be, of course, first the 480, but I want to look for that 420, 440, which is the previous consolidation area.
Yeah, no, I think the question is so PEV didn't halt, but what if it did halt?
No, okay, nothing. I will be looking as how we spoke right now for a pop and fail. So looking over here, actually when it opened, and then right away I started seeing some sellers. If I see over here tape red, everything getting over here sold, then I'm shorting, risking a high. But you want to do this and you want to be super fast, because if you're wrong, then you can risk a lot. So I suggest, to newbies to take time and record your tape, times and sales order flow, and then you see. The honestly, traders, the timing I had it over here from the book map over here. This is the timing that I had. You see the breakdown? Boom. Then you just have to be a little bit fast. I share my chart over here in the Bookmap Discord room and my room as well, because I just want to show you the execution. But for me, again, if you want to trade this stuff, you need really, really, really a lot of experience. Okay, that move, that extension needs really, really, really a lot of experience. So don't start trading it, from tomorrow. Just pass a lot of time before tracking it. Over here, Tesla instead is amazing. Really, I didn't expect the last 2 days Tesla moving like this. What I did was, and I posted over here, was buying some dips over here in the last days, but I'm not really looking to swing at all yet, because the market is still, for me, bearish. At least technically speaking, it's still bearish in the medium term. So Tesla is trying to break that resistance of the trend line. It's still not a long, so this would be only an anticipation of my longs. Let's see if now, Bruce, as we said before, okay, we're gonna have this consolidation, then boom, okay, we're long over here. Want to look for that, but we have also to know that is 11:30. Know that ES has to confirm our move. And over here instead is rejecting. So for now, really no long, canceled idea. We have sellers over here from 732. I think we can see again the lows over here, 728.
Yeah.
Sì, quando era piccola è andata su e giù.
Yeah.
728 support. We fill this support, traders, this previous relative low. High chances we're going to go down to the VWAP at 722, 723. So I'm looking at this support over here, 727 and 60. One is Rev, one is PEV.
Yeah, but it's how today will be going.
In the meantime, we have also Rev pushing, and Bruce, look over here, the push to the liquidity over here, beautiful.
Yeah, perfect.
Well, let's see if we can have a little bit of short, right?
Yeah, they're already on the offer there at a lower level. 9.
Yeah. They tried over here to push the 890. You can see right away they slam it down.
Yeah.
We have a support 880, support 860, support at 9. Let's zoom out a little bit. I'm going to use a 5-minute chart so we can see all the levels. And again, remember what I said before, what I just posted in the Discord room over here. If you go back and you start looking at this one, or actually I shared it before over here. I made just like there was over here. I said each time we go to this level, it's gonna hold so where I'm looking to buy. Right? The same thing happened again over here. So this level over here. These levels over here. So pretty good. Pretty good, pretty good. Want to watch over here the tape with you, traders? Still waiting over here on PEV, on WKSP, on Tesla. This point, I'm simply waiting over here my level of exhaustion into the 950 or 10. So we'll be looking at this level, or this level, 950 and 10. And over here, perfect really dip from the system at 790. This area over here, perfect. All right, traders, so 11:30. Do we have, Bruce, any questions today?
No, it looks like I answered a few there in YouTube, and we're good in Discord.
Okay, so I think we can wrap it up. We went over, we say, how to find daily levels. how to look for pump and dumps, like we saw some small caps. We look at some setups on big caps and how to look for the order flow confirming, we say for the, we say coming off the demand. We saw stuff moves, we saw sweeps, we saw even some spoofing before. I think we had a lot of good setups today, and good job.
Yeah, yeah, absolutely, Joseph, and very, very nice trading, and uh, following your setups and order flow to confirm your setups.
Yep, yep. So we're gonna see traders next week again. Again, if you have questions, just write over here below on the YouTube or reach out to Discord. Me and Bruce are always available for helping you out. In the meantime, thank everybody for attending today. Thank you, Bruce, also for being an amazing host, and give us also a thumb up. It really helps. And see you traders next week.
Excellent. Thank you, Joseph. Take care.
You're welcome.